once.
Yes.
95th. All right, that's about it. We'll wrap it up there. We'll go to a break. Brad Hardie on the...
On the Sports Daily, it's time to introduce the 1985 Brownlow medalist from the Footscray Football Club, Brad Hardie. This segment is proudly presented by Retrovision, Loans 123 and Ross's Auctioneers and Valuers. Introducing the boy from Hilton, the AFL guru, Brad Hardie.
Good morning to you, Bradley.
Good morning, Diggers. Good morning, Timmy. TC, good to be with you. So old habits die hard, don't they? Call you anything, but don't call me that. Yeah, boys, well, you had the AFL Commission meeting over your way yesterday. As you're well aware, you would have seen Andrew Dillon and others in town to conduct that particular thing, and part of the protocol was to discuss future rules, and Greg Swan presented to them, obviously, one about the last disposal out, Diggers, and the other one was about, I hope, something to do with the stand rule, which is, hasn't enhanced the game at all, and is being exploited somewhat, boys, because how often do you see the blokes actually stand straight away? They're cribbing backwards, aren't they, Diggers? 4 or 5 metres before the umpire goes, stand, and we don't need to hear that down the airwaves too often, so I think that'll be a little bit more regimented next year, but with a view, I'd like to think at some point in the future, boys, I wonder what you think. I'd love to see them get rid of it, to be brutally honest. I don't think it's helped the game at all.
Yeah, I don't mind it, personally. It probably hasn't had the impact, and that is because, as Brad said, and I think the Bulldogs were the first to do it. They, like Luke Beveridge, summed it up very, very quickly, that rule, and said it can be exploited. That was a few years ago now, Brad, and a few other sides have since followed suit. But anything to get the game flowing a little bit more is, in my eyes, a good thing. But you're right, it probably, if you are going to keep it, it needs to be adjudicated a bit more harshly. My problem with it is that shots on goal, Brad, is when the player can quickly creep out and he takes 2 or 3 steps before the man on the mark can actually try and defend it. You need an umpire sort of behind the play so that man on the mark gets equal opportunity to maybe smother, and it's not as easy to kick a goal around the man on the mark.
No, I agree. I mean, particularly from, say, 55 out, bloke standing 50 metres on a 50-metre arc, I can virtually run up to beside you, kick it, which is bizarre. It is bizarre. And, look, I understand it, and they had the incursion rule there for a while, which used to frustrate everybody. Well, what does frustrate everybody is that players, feign to go with a handball or a kick, and the player moves. I mean, it's just instinct that you do that in the red and gold T-shirts up the local oval on a Sunday morning when you're learning the game. But I just think that they need to, I think it can be, it's just one less thing the umpires would have to worry about. That's all I'm thinking of, and I think that's what they're thinking of as well, because quite clearly what needs addressing is the umpiring, because that's the thing that is the most alarming for most fans who go to the footy.
So is the last touch going to be in next year, do you think?
Yeah, well, not last touch. It's last disposal. So it could be either by kick or by handball. So if you happen to, the ball's bouncing and you happen to get a fingertip on it, but whoever kicked that ball is going to be it's only going to be between the 250-metre arcs. Now, in South Australia, they've been using it for a while. They think it helps, but, they're a bit different over there. And they use it for the whole ground. So, it's I'm not sure. It's not going to be like soccer where, the ball goes over the sideline. There's 15 kids ready to throw a ball back to you. You'll have to get it yourself. So I'm not sure it's going to speed the game up. But what it will do is probably reduce boundary throw-ins, and that might help. In one, the other ones that you've hated for a long, long time, Diggers, too, is the, 2 men up in the same colours free kick. Instead of this nominating, okay, TC, Diggers, you're up, but waste time. I mean, not playing time, but like just wasting time waiting for them to get ready. It's ridiculous. They're trying to reduce their whole cycle of the game, and that's one of the most annoying. We know if 2 West Coast Eagles jumper goes up against 1 Fremantle, well, it's a free kick to Fremantle. Done. You don't have to be told. No, you don't have to be at under 10 and told, you're jumping and you're jumping.
It's
Stupid.
Not that hard to work out, is it? Really?
No, I wouldn't believe so. That's for sure. The other thing, I think, and it's been a little bit of a problem, and we touched on it last year, and we can touch on it again, they have to address. Now, TC, if I said to you the word rookie, or you Diggers, doesn't matter what workplace or what sphere you're in, to me, it's a newbie, someone who maybe not have done it before, somebody who's you'd want to develop, somebody who you doesn't have the experience. Mate, Dane Rampy is 35. He's played 272 games, won at best and fairest, co-captained the club for a period of time. Jake Lloyd's 32. He's played 271 games, two-time club champion award winner, and they're rookie listed. Spare me. What is going on? And last year it was Gunston, because remember we spoke about it, Diggers. He was delisted, re-rookied, kicked 70 and had an All-Australian year this year, and they got the relief of about 80 grand off his salary in the TPP. It's not right. It's just a rort to me.
Couldn't agree more. The clubs are the masters of exploiting loopholes, aren't they, Brad? Be it football departments, be it coaches, and this is an example of that. I concur 100%.
What are the rules around a rookie playing, Brad? Yeah, there needs to be someone on the long-term injury list, is that right?
No, that used to be. I didn't mind that. I'm with you on that. Look, you might have 36 or 38 thereabouts on your primary list, and then you had 4 to 6 rookies. Now, West Coast have been delivered a few more rookies this year because, and that's why I said they have to be careful. They have to help themselves. They can't go out and get Tom Mitchell, Mason Cox, etc. They can, I suppose, if they really want to push the envelope, but it just doesn't pass the pub test. And I just don't think they want to be going down that line for the future of the footy club. You're better off getting 4 youngsters, a tall and a small and a midfielder and something else that you might want to develop. And, okay, if they don't work out in a couple of years' time, you turn them over. But they're still going to get that list. And that's what it used to be, TC. The only way you could get upgraded from the rookie list is someone was on the long-term injury list or somebody retired mid-season. And that's when they upgraded. I didn't have a problem with that. I thought that was a way to go in regards to using the rookie list. But the way they're using it at the moment, it's just not right. I don't believe anyway.
So you can just play whenever. You can just pick them.
Yep.
Yeah, you can just pick them up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, it's just an extension of your primary list. It's I'm with Brad here.
Would it help maybe the equalisation as well a little bit in terms of maybe Sydney get a couple of, for example, McCartan goes down and then you've got to bring in a young defender as opposed to bringing in Dane Rampy where you sort of hold your own a little bit?
Well, Dane Rampy's nearly a regular starter. And those two are nearly regular starters. So it's not a case of that. It could happen. I agree with what you're saying. But, that was the whole idea. So if Tom McCartan goes down, there's young Digby Beecham. He's a key defender. We'll bring him in, and that's, I get that. But, not the way that they're using it at the moment. It's just using it as a revolving door as a way of, getting a bit of an advantage by having experienced players on their rookie lists and, as I said, getting 80 grand per player relief from their TPP. So, and these blokes aren't playing for nothing. I mean, like the Hacks get 500 these days, so the average is around about 350, 400. So I reckon they'd both be on that, given their longevity and their service to the footy club. It just means that it's 80 grand lighter for each of them along the way. Whereas you bring on a rookie listed player, the 80 grand's 80 grand. That's what they're getting. And it doesn't count. So, that's what you do. So I would think it's just just another way of creative accounting for some of these football clubs, as Digger said, exploiting the rules.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. Sydney Swans, Dane Rampy and Jake Lloyd are going to be delisted and then rookie listed.
Correct, mate. Yeah, so they're going to have an opportunity to extend their careers. And look, I'm not sure they're...
If Sydney are going to be playing in a grand final, I don't think they're playing. Are they playing in their best 23 now?
I think we discussed this, Diggers, last year. TC, you were producing at that stage, and bottom line is, I said, look, I was worried about Dane Rampy at the end of 2024. I thought, well, he's gettable. He is definitely gettable if you get the right forward who's good in the air, can take a mark or good on below their knees and a bit of pace off the mark, you'll get Dane Rampy. But he's been able to be covered. They've needed him there because they've had a few injury worries and they haven't quite got it right. But you're okay. And Lloyd was the ultimate exposer of the kick-in from full-back, wasn't he, Diggers?
Yep.
I mean, he regularly got 28 touches and 12 of them kicking in from full-back, where he ran out of the square. So he graduated up to a wing a little bit. But I'm with you. In an ideal world, if Dean Cox and the Swans are to play finals footy next year, which we think they may be able to on paper with the addition of Charlie Curnow and hopefully Logan McDonald back, I don't think those two would need to be in the team. It's a little bit like Freo in a way this year with Michael Walters and Nat Fyfe, if they were going to, and they made it well, but those two didn't figure prominently in the home and away series.
Maybe with no Florent now, Lloyd has a role, through the midfield, perhaps as that link man, but I I think it's fair to say, and they've been wonderful servants for the football club, those two, but I think their best days are behind them.
And the definition of irony, they both started as rookies.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, finished their career as rookies. Decorated grand final rookies.
Yeah.
Anything else to come out of the meeting, Brad?
Quite remote. Oh, look, I think there was other things that they would have been discussing, but I think that was Swanee's role in regards to the last disposal out. And as I said, just plant the seed to have a think about the stand rule and how they can improve it for the umpires next year. But I think long term, I think we all think it's not going to last. As Digger said, he doesn't mind it. That's fine. I'm sure there's going to be elements of the commission who do think exactly the same way as Diggers does. So, but I think the proof will be in the pudding. Let's see how the demand to stand works first. And if it doesn't improve, I would think next year it certainly will be on the table again this time next year, I would have thought.
Let's get rid of opening round as well.
You don't like it?
Yeah, well, interesting, St Kilda are pushing it up at the moment now. They want to play Collingwood on the beginning of round one, not round O, but round one, the opening round. I think they want to play it on a Sunday night, and that's all well and good. Now, I'm not sure how they initially picked Carlton and Richmond Diggers, probably more bums on seats than anything, TC, all those years ago, because they're both well patronised club, to kick off the season. We know we've got round O, and then you go into round one, round O specifically for the northern states in particular. Now, St Kilda, I think they've got to earn their stripes. I think it's one thing wishing. You and I probably want to win Powerball tomorrow night, on Thursday night, Diggers, but you've got to earn your stripes, and I'm not sure St Kilda can come out barking and say, we want to play Collingwood on a Sunday night as the opening round. I think I think there's a few, because to me, they picked the right club to play, because Collingwood fans will go to any game, won't they? Particularly at the MCG, they will fill the joint. But yeah, I think they need to earn it first. There's a difference between earning and promising. So I think that might be shut down pretty quickly, I would have thought.
If you don't ask, you don't get. So you can understand they throw the hat in the ring. What's the worst that can happen? The AFL says no, not yet. As Brad said, you earn your stripes, and we'll revisit this in 12 months.
Do you like opening round?
Yeah,
I don't mind it. It's footy. I'd rather that than, sorry for upsetting people, the state of origin. Give me the opening round. Look, that means something. I know it's a little bit disjointed, but it's proper home and away football, not an exhibition game in the middle of February.
Why don't you have every team play, though?
Well, you could do, but they've elected to do it that way. I think
it's working. They'll tell you it's working because all the games, probably bar the one at NG Stadium, the GWS Giants, they're all pretty much sellouts because of it. And now the growth of the Gold Coast is even better. Brisbane Lions, obviously, the reigning premiers again. So there's an element there. But at times, it's an opportunity, I think. I don't think Collingwood want to do it this year. But, it is an opportunity for some of the Broadway clubs, I call them over here, TC, in Melbourne, to go north, which they don't normally do or they don't go to Tasmania because the grounds just don't hold enough for to house the numbers that these clubs bring.
You could have every interstate side outside of Melbourne host a game, and then I think that would end up having one Melbourne game on the, whatever, if they make that the Sunday.
So you want to have one in Perth, one in Adelaide, one in Queensland, one in Sydney? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you could even have two. You could have West Coast host on a Saturday and Fremantle host on a Sunday, or vice versa.
Yeah, I think we're going to be hard. I mean, we're going to come up with any way you like, but I think you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. But the bottom line is that, I don't think we're going to get much movement there because I think they're pretty happy with, again, bums on seats, peepers, and Diggers and I concur. You'd rather have some football than none, put it that way.
Yeah, I agree with that. Autumn Glow has come up with barrier 9 for Saturday's Golden Eagle.
Linebacker 5.
Linebacker 5, so that's where we sit at the moment, Bradley, for that $10 million feature at Rosehill on Saturday. J Mac to ride as she chases win number 8 from start number 8.
She's pretty special, isn't she? So, I think, what do they put up, even money? I think she might even firm up a little bit now. You'd think linebacker, but linebacker he can put in one and then a really good one, and then he not so, So, I think she's obviously with the consistency, 8 for 8. I think she's the one to beat. There's no doubt about that, boys.
Your young horse trial on yesterday, Brad? Or was it the week before?
Jomar?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit strange. She jumped out. It wasn't sort of what we were hoping for. Or she was good, but she wasn't great, So she might be heading for the paddock. I think TC just a little bit more time. She's still growing. We think she's going to get over a bit of distance. So she showed a bit of speed there the other day, but knocked up a little bit when the others came up and around her. So we'll see how she goes. But she's got a bit of ability. We'll see how she goes.
Where's Swingman?
He'll be back Saturday. Coming up Saturday, so nominated for the prelude of the Placid Arc, and hopefully in a fortnight's time after that, he'll be amongst the starters for the Placid Arc. So that's what we're hoping for, and he's been terrific for us. So we're looking forward to seeing him back on Saturday.
Lovely. Anything else before we let you go?
No, it's all pretty much, obviously the Sheffield Shield today you would have spoken about. There's some great games right around the country. Cam Green in from WA over your way, boys, just down the road or across the street from wherever you are. And, of course, Victoria's already started, and there's going to be a lot on Weatherall, how he goes. And Bo Webster's back in for Tassie. And, of course, up at the Gabba, they've got, Renshaw's trying to make a last dash. He's got a bit of weight behind him, hasn't he, Diggers? You've got to have a PR machine. You've got... Border and Chappell and Fleming, and pushing his name. But I think it's Jake Weatherall. I think if he can get some runs against Victoria at the Junction Oval over the next 4 days, boys, he looks like he's probably the man to fill in that opening position. So we'll wait and see. And as I say, it doesn't look as though Cam Green's going to bowl, does he, Diggers? I don't think he's going to bowl in this game, is he? By the same, and Doggett's back, isn't he? I think for South Australia. So remember, he was the travelling spare for the World Test Championship TC, and he also was nominated. I think he was named to play in the first Test against the Windies, and he injured his hip and didn't play. So without Cummins, I think they're looking maybe just for backup. A player, so he might come into calculation. So we'll see how they fare between now and Thursday when we talk again, boys.
All right, so the Vics are 2 for 38, and it's a little bit wet at the Gabba, so they haven't got that game underway just yet.
Okay.
10:30 here at the Wacker, being WA playing today.
Magic day here today, boys. 18, not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful. 24 hours ago, we had thunderstorms, tornadoes. Hailstorms, sun, you name it.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? Victorian weather, Melbourne weather. Oh, my.
Yeah, it certainly does. So, boys, we're here for Mortz. He's a Group 1 Mortz. He's been absolutely outstanding supporter of ours for a long, long time now from Retrovision. You've got the text line going there. Yeah, the Nude Nut, loans123.com.au. You can do things the banks can't, you know that. And don't forget Frankie Lee at Ross's Auction, statewide, all over the place, whatever you need, particularly on a Friday afternoon if you want a good bottle of vino, boys. I look forward to talking to you on Thursday.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Brad Hardie there, the 1985 Brownlow medalists. Now, it takes a little while to get just to the rain radar now on the Bureau website, Diggers. A little bit tougher than it used to be, but I don't think play's getting underway there anytime soon.
In
Brisbane.
Right. Wet.
Oh, looking at that, there's a couple of fronts coming through.
Well, that's good, because every time we speak to Chris Nelson, or it seems like every time we speak to Chris Nelson, he says it's dry. He's had to put water in the pool, so tomorrow when we have a chat, he can inform us that it's been nice and wet.
Oh, we know it's wet, I can see.
Exactly, which is good. It's a pleasant change.
Oh, you're happy that it's wet?
Absolutely.
Oh, righto, okay. We just chatted to Brad Hardie.
Brad Hardie is proudly presented by Retrovision, Loans 123, and Ross's Auctioneers and Valuers. Retrovision, lowest price guaranteed. RAC members save 5%. Loans 123 for all your loan needs. Call Steve Sell on 1800 100 100. Ross's Auctioneers and Valuers, the leading auctioneering firm in WA.